This is Georgetown, the podcast. Georgetown County and the city. Georgetown is growing, changing, expanding, and blossoming. The Hammock Coast of South Carolina. It's a renaissance. This is Georgetown, the podcast. Here's your host, Scott Richards.
Welcome to Georgetown, the podcast. I am Scott Richards, and we are going to be talking about a very special project that happened with the Georgetown Chamber. My guest today, Holland Carley. Hi.
Hi.
Holland and I have known each other for a number of years, and I just found out that she was part of a very special program, and even more special, some things happening there. So, first of all, describe the program. We're going to talk about Georgetown, all things Georgetown, and we're going to talk about your business, but the program that you just completed with Georgetown, Georgetown County.
It's called the Minority Business Accelerator program, and it is a 5-month program where minority business owners had the opportunity to, whether they were formulating a business plan, thinking about what they wanted their business to be, whether they were like myself who bought into a business that was already existing, had the opportunity to learn about marketing, finance, insurance, get a business plan together, present it to their peers, present it to some judges.
Was this an offshoot of the leadership program you were involved in, or completely separate?
It's separate. This is the 5th year. It was the 5th cohort this year. South Carolina Commission for Community Advancement and Engagement is who really partners with the chamber to spearhead making sure that we have an opportunity to have a special thing at the end, which we will share with you, and to make sure that we understand the resources that are available as minority business owners.
This, when you say minority business, describe what that means.
The definition for minority in this scenario is a female like myself, or someone who is in the race that people consider to be a minority.
Here in Georgetown County specifically. So talk about what you did and what your program details involved.
It was actually pretty fascinating for a lot of reasons, one of which we met at the Georgetown County Airport every other Tuesday from 6 to 9, which most people don't get to go to that airport and realize that it's there.
Right.
That it's pretty fantastic.
Where is it?
Past, you go past Ori Georgetown Tech, that campus that's there.
It's south of Georgetown.
On 17.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's a little bit out there, but it was nice to be meeting in a place that we may not ever really have exposure to. I mean, I don't fly private jets very often, so we don't get to go to that airport.
So tell me about what you were doing, your specific project.
My project was our business development plan. All of us had something that we had a need of and that we were going to ask for funding for. Mine was, we've grown in the past since 22 after COVID from $200,000 in premium to $1 million in premium. So the hustle game is strong, but we need some customer support assistance.
Sure.
And possibly some producers. So our ask was, we would love to have the opportunity to find someone who, at least as a part-time level, want to do customer service work versus doing the virtual assistant. We wanted to keep the training and the experience and the person being a live person that we interact with here in Georgetown or Horry County versus AI to the Philippines or wherever.
How did that all process?
It was difficult. The infrastructures, you really can't do anything if you don't have that in place. You're what I like to say, winging and praying it, because you don't have the standard operating procedures. You don't have the business plan. You don't have how you're going to finance things, how you're going to take care of the insurance, how you're going to market it, how you're going to handle the customer service. You don't have those things in place. So that was what drew me to the program, because we were in existence and we have a brick and mortar business, but we didn't have all of the business plans and the SOPs in place. So that's what I was keen on, is making sure we could get that in place. And then ask for, could you guys possibly give us some assistance with getting a customer service person, someone, maybe interested in the industry, or even someone who's retired full-time from insurance,
Right.
and says, hey, I still want to have a little activity and get out there and meet some new people and write some new business.
So it sounds to me like it might be just sort of an assistance building program, that here you are, a women-owned business, and saying, I need to get some support in a lot of areas. And this organization or this project was able to say, let me help lift you up a little bit. The work is on you, but we can offer some advice.
Yes. So each class, to backtrack just a little bit, each class had the opportunity for folks to come in and to say, I'm your marketing representative. I'm going to help you go through how to do that. So we had 12 classes of that dedicated. We were going through, they had specific things that they wanted to give to us, handouts with specific guidelines and exercises. And going through those exercises with everyone in the class was spectacular, because we got to hear what they thought was, important and how they would do it. And then we got to get feedback. So
It's not just your business, it's all the other types
all of
business.
the other ones. So we were building every week with how to make sure you understand the components of the business plan. I mean, you could have had 30 pages of a business plan, and you had to have your budgeting, your expenditures, you had to have Excel spreadsheet. I didn't say you needed to have all these things to have an understanding of, where am I and what am I doing and where am I going and what does it mean to grow? What does it mean to get to that point? The tangible.
Did it feel valuable? I know the answer to that, but would you think it'll be here to help you years from now?
Absolutely. And the connections that we made, there are a lot of individuals who came. Some of them live in Columbia, some of them live in Charleston, but there's still people who we have access to that we can reach out to and say, hey, I'm stuck on this component. This is what I have. Can you help guide me?
Well, it is all about connections, who you know, because it's hard to be out there on your own. So it's nice to have somebody that knows this specific area.
Yes. I think the intent was that the 12 weeks or 5 months would be the building blocks.
Right.
Things that you may or may not think are important, but they all were. And building up to, let's get the business plan out there. And then we presented in front of 3 judges the business plan. In addition to, there were 50 other people in the room that got to come.
Right.
So it's a little intimidating, but at the same time, that's real life. If you go to a networking event, you could have hundreds of people and you have an elevator pitch of 10 seconds that you have to be able to get their interest and let them know what you do.
You're watching or listening to Georgetown, the podcast.
So let's talk about that. You had to present, which means there were awards given.
There were awards given.
And you won an award.
I did. So there was a possibility of getting 3 different awards. First place would have been $5,000.
Hey.
Yeah. Second place was $2,500, and third place was $1,000. And those funds were given. I'm going to read it again. By Dr. DaCosta, which is she's the executive director of the Commission for Community Advancement for South Carolina. So it was a privilege to have her there.
Oh, sure.
She and her staff one of our staff members actually came to our classes every week. And it was every couple of weeks. And it was fantastic to have, knowing how many applications they see, how many businesses that they see coming through, to be able to give that kind of advice and have the exposure to be able to say, I'm a award-winning member of the MBA program, and I'd love some assistance here.
There were 3 winners.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to be talking to the other 2 in future episodes of Georgetown, the podcast. I want to shift gears just a little bit, but this was all something that was done as part of Georgetown County. And you have gotten more and more involved in Georgetown County over the last couple of years. What have you discovered about Georgetown that really excites you, that drives you to get more involved in things like this?
We, the agency, are licensed in South Carolina, so we can write anywhere in South Carolina. Our brick and mortar is in Myrtle Beach.
We haven't really talked about exactly what you do. Okay. Your agency is...
Carolina Strand Underwriters Insurance. We do property and casualty insurance. So your home, your auto, workers' comp, general liability, things along that line.
Yeah. Disclaimer. Yeah. You insure me.
That's right.
Oh, my.
I live in Georgetown County. I participated in the Myrtle Beach Chamber's Leadership Grand Strand program 2 years ago. And going into Leadership Grand Strand was excellent experience.
Right.
But it's very tourism driven, because it's Myrtle Beach.
Yes.
So I wanted to participate in the Georgetown Chamber leadership program because I'm passionate about Georgetown. I live in Georgetown County. And the differences were dramatic.
In what way?
Because Georgetown County is spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Georgetown County Chamber. It is the whole county. It's not just Pawleys Island Chamber.
Or Front Street in Georgetown.
Right. So.
And there's some very rural parts of Georgetown County.
Yes.
I remember being at an event one time for, I think it was the annual meeting for Georgetown Craft Credit Union. Mm-hmm. And I've been to many annual events, and this one showed me Georgetown County, because many, many farmers, industrial folks, it was a completely different place than Horry County or what Myrtle Beach does. Well, and that's important to realize. That's part of South Carolina.
The history aspect of it, both you and I are avid readers, and historical fiction is what I really enjoy. There is so much history in Georgetown County, right, with the plantations that the average person wouldn't have any. In the Gullah, I actually bought a book that will teach me how to speak the Gullah language, because I was fascinated because I'm from Mississippi and I'm so close to Louisiana. The French exposure there, right, it was Cajun. I'm like, this sounds to me like Cajun. Yeah. And lo and behold, you look through, they are connected through history. So just the history in Georgetown County, you have smaller, quainter places like Andrews. We went and visited them and what they're trying to do with getting a mayor and a city planner. And, the big railroad and bike path that's going through there now is helping with some redevelopment, things that I probably wouldn't have had exposure to or even thought to go and explore.
I had a friend of mine that was born and bred near Andrews. She invited me one year, this is a while back, to a horse riding competition. And it was in the middle of nowhere, but it was one of the most, I remember it as one of the most fascinating things, because it was a culture that I had no idea existed.
Was it the buggy one? Or
No, this was people that they did around the barrels and leapt over, and there was, kids that were way too young to be on horses, but they were amazing. It was a spectacular event, and not all that well known, right, that is a part of Georgetown County. I just loved the whole thing.
Yeah. That to me is the distinct difference, is the history versus tourism.
Although it's fair to say that Georgetown does have its share of tourism, and of course, Murrells Inlet, Pawleys Island. But it's a little different, isn't it?
It's not high rises. It's more like homes and
or Front Street in Georgetown,
hotels, boutiques.
Which is, every time I go down, I'm just blown away at how much that has changed and how lovely It is. I'm always looking for a reason to go.
And now with the steel mill redevelopment, that's going to be really interesting to watch out for, because I think they have, I don't know how much of this is formalized, but they're talking about kayak and small boat rentals.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Georgetown really is at the beginning of a revolution and a kind of a regenerating of all that. Let's go back to your business, because we should. Carolina Strand Underwriters, you insure stuff.
Stuff, the place where you live.
Well, I have a friend of mine that he insures people, not things. You're the opposite. You insure things. So let's give it a plug.
The things that are that make your life comfortable. Your home, your auto, RV, any kind of recreational vehicle. And if you own a small business, your business owner policy, workers' comp, general liability, things that are your risks.
And you're not a captured agent.
We are an independent, so we have over 40 carriers that we can write with.
That change. I think it's interesting that, you'll correct me if I'm wrong on this. You will. If you're writing a policy for one particular company, that rate is set. Whether it's you or somebody else, there's no negotiation on that rate. So the difference would be somebody like you to know, which coverage do you need, and am I going to find somebody when I have a claim?
Yes.
Which is very interesting, because over the years I've had the big companies, and there have been storms and issues, and by golly, it's hard to find somebody.
It is. Brandon Brookshire is my business partner, and the two of us believe in a boutique customer service level.
Right.
Everyone has our cell phone numbers. It's on our voicemail. You're going to be able to get access to us. Chances of us evacuating, probably not, unless you have another Hugo have a direct hit on us. But we're going to.
Available.
Yes, and we have, through all of our different connections, we have access to all of the restoration companies, all of the construction folks. So you're going to be able to get first on the list and make sure that you have that person's cell phone number, and you're not waiting. You're not calling a 1-800 number or another agency they evacuated. They're not in the office. You don't have their cell phone number. Well, what do you do?
Worry. So people moving to Georgetown County, are there issues with certain coverages because of Georgetown County? Every area has its thing. So maybe we need to be aware of the flood zones or hurricanes. And
yes. So being in a coastal region, you do need to be cautious and advised and discuss through what it means to have wind and hail and hurricane versus named storm, what it means to have flood or not flood. FEMA did a remapping of the flood zones in the past few years. And so there are people that don't even know that they're in a flood zone now.
And I'm going to guess, when's the worst time to try to get coverage for hurricane coverage and wind and hail?
Well, that's the thing. The carriers, if a storm is about to be a named storm, they will put a moratorium out so that you cannot write business. You can't change. You can't make any changes. You can't get new policy. You don't want to wait until the last minute.
Yes, and people do. And I'm guessing you still get phone calls.
All the time.
Which is crazy. But people that are coming here from other areas, they're not aware of the violence of a storm or how devastating it can be. It's like, hey, I probably should get some coverage.
Well, and even folks that haven't been here, but let's say 10 years. I mean, if you weren't here during Hurricane Matthew or Hurricane Florence, you don't really realize what it's like to not have power, to not have gas, to not have a grocery store, to potentially be that way for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
And if you evacuate, you can't come back.
They make it very difficult, and as they should, because we don't need a lot of craziness here. Well, Holland Carley, thank you for being a guest on Georgetown, the podcast. It's exciting to see what's happening in Georgetown, and I'm really happy you've won an award. This award was part of
the Georgetown County Chamber and the Minority Business Accelerator 5th cohort program.
And is this something they do every year then?
They do. So applications should be out there if you want to go to their website and see what that process is. I would encourage it.
Perfect. Georgetown, the podcast. Good to see you. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching or listening to Georgetown, the podcast. Learn more about the Hammock Coast and Georgetown. Read Georgetown Magazine in print, pick one up around Georgetown and along the Carolina coast. Or digitally, visit readgeorgetownmag.com.